Welcome back to the Kane and Day Show. I am your host, Kane. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Kane. Dave, tell them where you're at.
My Twitter is RealDayGaming1, and the show's Twitter is the Kane and Day Show.
All right. This is part 2 of our prediction video for each conference. This episode is going to be focusing on the National League. Why don't you start us off there, Day? Where are we starting?
We are in the NL West, where I think the Colorado Rockies, man, they're so good. They're going to finish in last.
I also agree. The
bad.
last 2 years just haven't made sense. I mean, you let Nolan go, he wanted to go. Trevor Story left. So now you have nobody. And then you
Chris
went
Bryant
out
is still out there.
Well, and then you went out and signed Chris Bryant to a huge deal, which didn't make any sense because Chris Bryant could have stayed in San Francisco or went to a contender.
Yeah, it's questionable.
And I think the only reason he went to Colorado was just to pad his stats for the rest of his career. Well, guess what, buddy?
Well, it ruined his career, actually.
Right. It ruins your chance of getting in the Hall.
I don't think he had a chance anyway, but
I don't know from how good he was at the start of his career.
Didn't do it for long enough.
That's fair. But
I mean, you have Daniel Bard out there.
It's true. You still have Yerman Marquez. You have Ian
Ryan
Kroll.
McMahon.
Ryan McMahon's not bad.
It's not great.
Who's that? Brendan Rodgers. Jonathan Daza. You can tell I play this team a lot on MLB Show. I play against them all the time. Chuck Nasty out there. Yeah. Elias behind the dish, you know. In fourth place, I have the San Francisco Giants.
The coin flip.
I agree. I
can see a world where they are in fourth place.
I just think Arizona's better this year.
They have more potential.
Because when you look at this San Francisco Giants roster, they don't have Rondon anymore. Trying to think on how many decent pitchers they have. Not a lot.
Don't. You're wasting your time.
Their prospects.
Joey Bard.
I mean, Joey Bart. That's about it. You have aging Brandon Crawford.
Luciano.
Yeah, but you have aging Brandon Crawford at short. Don't know
Brandon Bell's at first.
Yeah, old man Brandon Bell. And the only signing really that made any sort of impact on your team was Mitch Haniger. And I don't think he's a guy who's great. Trust me, I love Mitch Haniger. Forever a fan. The way Mitch Haniger impacted Seattle was fantastic. He was part of the rebuild years. And dude's just a dog, and they got a great player when he's on the field. And that's his big thing is he's aging. He really needs to stay on the field for his career if he wants to, go down as being a solid player. But this team just doesn't have the it factor that it did the year it made the playoffs. I mean, they have Jock as well. They added the year before. But Jock isn't that great. So I think this team, because they're not doing what the Giants need to do. I mean, they offered Judge a shit ton of money, and he said no.
And Correa.
They had Correa almost signed.
Until their doctor stepped in, but yeah.
But I do think this team gets fourth.
Yeah. I see a world where they do finish fourth. And Arizona does have way more potential.
I agree. And that's why I think Arizona will be third. They've got pitching.
Zach Gallen, Mitch Keller, Merrill Kelly.
Yeah.
Mitch Keller is the opening day star for the Pirates.
He sure is.
Merrill Kelly. Alec
but
Thomas out in center field. He's quick.
right, and now and watch out, Carroll most likely should be on their opening day roster,
Yeah.
and he's going to play one of your corner spots. He might play center because he's the fastest dude in the league.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you've got a guy who can carry the team on his back in Ketel Marte.
He can play anywhere too.
He sure can, and he is a fantastic switch hitter. I just think this team has way better assets than in years past.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
So I think they're a solid third place. Second place, who do you have?
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
I can agree with that. Yes, they are getting dethroned this year.
I believe that.
They lost Trey Turner. That is
Justin Turner.
And Justin Turner. Trey Turner's a bigger hit. Because
I agree, but Justin Turner is a great fill at third base for them.
He
Or he
was.
was.
You lost Gavin Lux on the year.
But that's unfortunate.
Freddie Freeman's getting older. Mookie Betts is getting older. Will Smith is still young. But who do they throw at shortstop?
Oh, I forgot who was his fill. 'Cause Miguel Rojas is... He might actually be the fill at shortstop.
That would make sense. Who's at third?
I want to say it's Jacob Amaya. The only
Okay.
reason I know that is because I watched him play. I worked for the team.
And then you also have... You lost Cody Bellinger.
That's, I think, also a big hit to them.
I do too. And here's the big glaring sirens going off to me. They're pitching.
What pitching?
Exactly. They have Dustin May, Julio Urias, Walker Bueller, if he's healthy.
They picked up David Peralta.
All right.
They did get JD Martinez too.
That is true. They did get JD. But I don't think that this team is a first place team anymore, especially like getting the most wins in the division either.
No, not. I think the biggest hurdle was last year, and it was accomplished for the Padres, was beating them in the playoffs.
And that's
That was like, look at Jordan. He couldn't beat the Pistons. What happened after he beat the Pistons?
he won 6
6 out of 7. 6 out of 7.
Yeah.
And all it took was getting over the hump of the Pistons.
Yeah.
I think for the Padres, or anybody in the NL West, is beating them in the playoffs. Because even when the Giants beat the Dodgers for the division, who beat them in the playoffs?
Like,
Dodgers did.
and here's the big thing. Here is number one, Big Daddy, and who's going to be my pick for winning the most games this year. Is
I
the
think
Padres.
they will have the number one seed.
Here's their team. Let's start at catcher. Austin Nola. He's great.
They did lose Alfaro, so Nola's actually got to play every day.
And that's fine. That's fine. Austin Nola is good. Just like he's a Mariner. I like him. He's really good. We got a good deal for him. Because we got Ty France, but he's solid. At first base, you have Rake Cronenworth sitting there.
Shout out to Michigan.
Yeah, baby. You also have Kim at second. Your newest addition for the next 11 years. Who's going to play along... Him and Tatis have the same amount of years left. So
Yeah.
this is exciting. So you have Xander Bogaerts, who is a great addition to this team and a great compliment to Manny Machado. Huge compliment. Because you now have a guy who's probably your number 2 hitter who hits for
He might
average.
even be the leadoff guy.
No, I think Cronenworth's the leadoff guy. I think you would go lefty, righty, Machado, Soto.
Could do that.
And so then you have at third Manny Machado. In left field, I want to say, you have Juan Soto. In center, you have Trent Grisham. And in right field after May will be Tatis.
That is true.
So,
He did play there yesterday.
oh, and not to mention their DH, Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Thank you, MLB The Show. You taught me something.
I mean, it doesn't even stop there. They still have Yu Darvish, Blake Snell. They still have Josh Hader out in the bullpen, who I think with a full year,
I think
figure it out.
I think he's gonna pounce back again.
I think figure it out.
They still have 5 solid guys. They've got arms down in their, lower divisions. This team is I think gonna win the most games in MLB this year, in both divisions.
That's fair. That's fair.
They have the ultimate all-star team, basically out on the field. So,
yeah, it's scary what they can do. The only problem is they have such a pitcher's park, their offense is going to struggle, but I think they'll be just fine.
I think they'll be fine. Let's go to the NL Central. In 5th place, this is tough. This is really tough because they're both terrible. I'm going to let you lead this one off.
Cincinnati.
I can get behind it. I mean, where's Jonathan India gone?
One-hit wonder.
Like,
just like Jesse Winker, one-hit wonder.
You're going to have Ellie De La Cruz most likely up.
He did get called up.
I mean, they have Hunter Green. I'm pretty
6 innings.
They've got a couple pitchers that they got from the Mariners. They also have a lot of talent in their Double-A, I want to say.
Yeah, but that's not producing wins at the major league level. I think they are the worst team. They will not win 60 games.
I can see that, and that franchise just needs to get sold. I mean, the owners are not doing anything. I'm sorry.
I can't see how they're making money, but I can't see they're happy with that.
No, I mean, you were a playoff team a couple years ago and you broke it all down. Yeah. You were one piece away from making a World Series. Or making
at least a good run.
A good run. I mean, you let Bauer go. You let Castellanos. Who is the other guy they let go? They let Jesse Winker go, because who knows if Jesse Winker stays on that team, he probably produces. Jonathan India disappeared. I mean, Joey Votto's just wasted his entire career.
He needs to retire.
Like, they did him bad, and I don't think this team is good. In 4th place, no. I think with confidence... Pittsburgh, yeah. I mean, it's cool that Kutch reunited with them. It's really cool to see that. But
I have more confidence in their pitching staff, too, than I do Cincinnati.
Yeah, I do like Mitch Keller.
Not by much, but I have more have more confidence.
I like Keller a lot. So I think he'll be just fine. But other than that, they're not great.
No.
They are not great. They have Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz. Those are about 2
like I said, they got more potential. That's the only reason they're higher. I think they still lose 95-90.
I agree.
But I think they at least win 62.
I don't know how you're feeling on 3rd place, but my prediction for 3rd is Milwaukee.
It's actually really a toss-up. So the division winner is a lock, but it's a toss-up between Chicago and Milwaukee for me, for the simple fact that I don't know what Christian Yelich I'm getting. I don't know what kind of bullpen we're going to get since they lost Hader. I think Devin Williams is not a closer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's could be the best setup guy of all time.
Well,
it's a stretch, but
yeah, Devin Williams.
He was incredible out of the 8th inning, but not the 9th. It's weird. Corbin Burns,
He's
Brandon
fantastic.
Woodruff. They have pieces.
They have Brandon Woodward, Freddie Peralta,
Yeah. They
a
have a
couple
good trio,
guys.
but
They also
I don't
called
think
up
it's enough.
Bryce Terang, great
They
shortstop,
did.
but they have Willie, so most likely he's gonna play second to fill the gap of
Hira,
Hira.
who did not make the team,
Well, and Colton Wong,
who was traded to Seattle.
exactly. And then you also have the young Garrett Mitchell out in center, who I think is electric.
Yeah, I mean, they have pieces.
They do, but I think they're a third place team. And the reason why is Chicago's going to be second. And man, what a turnaround for this team.
They did do a lot of damage in the offseason.
They got arguably the second best shortstop on the market. Third. Because Xander's number 2, because Correa was number 1. But
Trey Turner was number 1.
oh wait, yeah. Never mind. I'm done.
Doesn't
Don't
matter.
don't listen to me, guys.
When Dansby's hot, he is the best, one of the best shortstops in baseball. When
Oh,
he's
he
cold,
was-
it's scary bad.
He was fantastic last year, defensively and offensively. But I think he's gonna have like a, what's his name, third baseman, Atlanta, Austin
Riley.
where Riley broke out 2 years ago. The year they won the World Series, he broke out, and then he continued to break out last year. And I think last year was Dansby's breakout year. And granted, I think he's 28, but he's just kind of getting into his prime of baseball when you look at ages for baseball players. And I think that he's going to take this big, long stride and carry this team. I don't think they have great pitching. I don't think Marcus Stroman's that good. But offensively, you have Patrick Wisdom. Yes, you lost Wilson Contreras, but I think they'll do an okay job filling that.
Hopefully, Seiya plays the full year.
Hopefully, Seiya.
Bellinger maybe reinvents himself.
Hope. I want him to because I'm such a Cody B fan. Cody Bellinger is one of my favorite players in the league when he's doing his crazy, nasty stuff. He's one of the scariest hitters to face. But
Not batting ninth last year for the Dodgers, he wasn't.
But this team, I think, really takes a stride this year.
I hope so.
So, and then in number 1, it's a lock. Cardinals. The Lars Nootbaar tour is gonna continue. You hope Dylan Carlson really, really steps into the role they thought he was going to, because
That, and you hope Jordan Walker plays well too. He made the team as well.
Where's he playing?
Doesn't matter. They'll DH him if they have to.
You would think short or second.
Well,
no, they have
Donovan's gonna play second.
Where's Tommy Edman?
Short.
Okay, I don't know. They'll figure it out. But
They will figure it out.
You also hope that Lars continues to develop and be really good.
Yeah, you hope he takes what he learned in the WBC and
but here's the
translates
biggest
that
thing.
back home.
They lost one catcher and gained an amazing catcher.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras is fantastic, and this makes it. You're just complimenting Paul and Nolan.
Yeah.
It's a chef's kiss. I mean, who's their
I think
ace?
the only thing they're missing is a left-handed hitter.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they're missing.
Well, Lars isn't left-handed hitter, but
But he's not. I'm talking like an elite one.
right.
Elite right now, like a Juan Soto. Like they're missing someone like that.
Right, I agree.
Because Nolan, Paul. Obviously, it worked out last year, but I think you can get into a bad trap with that with 3 power right-handers in a row.
But I think they'd run away with the division.
Yeah, it's not close. They win by mid-September, 10, 15 games.
I think so. All right, let's jump into the heavy hitter division, and that's the NL East. I'm going to say in 5th place we have the Nationals.
They will be the 2nd worst team in all of baseball.
Yes. And
they have promising guys. It's
they
just
do.
not there yet.
They have too many young guys. They have some staples like Josiah Gray, Mackenzie Gore, if he can figure it
Kybert.
out. Kybert, Ruiz, Joey Meneses,
CJ Abrams.
CJ
They have
Abrams.
pieces.
They have pieces, but
Sure.
Strasburg has held this team hostage for so many years.
I forgot he was still in the league. I'm not even
And
kidding.
they're still paying him. They're
That's
paying
true.
him a lot of money. Also, fun fact, Ken Griffey Jr. is the third highest payroll on the Reds roster this year.
I did see that.
Just want y'all to fun fact with Kane with me real quick. But yeah, the Nationals are not going to be good this year. I don't
not
think
at
they
all.
figure it out. I think you give them maybe 2 more years and they start to kind of turn it around. But
They might beat Miami. That's about it.
And then in number 4 we have Miami, which is so sad because
They did upgrade the team in the offseason.
they got Gene Segura. They're moving Jazz out to center. They still have some pretty decent pitchers like with Pablo Lopez, Sandy Alcantara. But this team just, I mean, the big money they spent was Jorge Soler, Avisail Garcia. I don't know if they have Stallings still. I don't think
I think
so.
they're still there.
I mean, I just haven't seen him in MLB The Show, so I don't know. And so I just don't see big.
Bad.
I don't see big productivity from this team. You're gonna see Sandy Alcantara push a lot this year, and you hope he stays healthy.
Yeah, win another Cy Young.
Yeah. All right, Ben. In third place.
The
We got-
New York Mets.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't think Scherzer can pitch a full season. Verlander's up there in age as well. As
Again,
much as I want Verlander to do well, he could be a Cy Young candidate.
like it's. I'm not even gonna.
You're not allowed to say it this year. I can.
I'm not gonna predict what season he'll be, but it's just that it's who. What are you gonna get? Cy Young guy, or just
I think
Your
he still has
arm-
potential to pitch well.
your arm just has to be there, and he's gonna be 39.
That's fine.
You don't see a lot of, almost 40-year-olds pumping 100 miles an hour. Takes a
I think the
toll.
potential's there, but
I do too.
the Mets always find a way to choke. They do.
They won.
I think they snagged the last wild card spot, though. I'll tell you that.
They did re-sign Brandon Nimmo. They got one of the Japan products. Brett Beatty should be a big positive for him. Francisco Alvarez got called up this year. He's going to be their catcher. So they've got some pieces too. Starling Marte still out there. Jeff
Think about
McNeil.
Frankie Lindor.
Yeah, I mean, Lindor, he just, like we've said in the past, Lindor's just got to play Lindor style baseball. If he plays the way he did in Cleveland, this team's a different level, but I don't know.
I still think they snagged the last wild card spot.
And in number 2, in my eyes here, it's Atlanta. I think it's a coin flip on who gets first place in this division.
I think it's Philly,
You,
personally.
all right. Why is that?
And I think Atlanta's pitching is better. I don't think losing Dansby is big, but I don't think it's that big to that team.
No, especially
Because their
if you
pitching
have
will
Ozzy
keep them in the
back.
game.
Right.
And
But-
Acuna for full season again. Get Albies back. You have Matt Olson. You added Sean Murphy, great catcher.
Right.
You still have Austin Riley. Their pitching with Max Fried is incredible. They have it. I think that's going to propel Atlanta to first place and Philly to second place.
I see. I'll flip it on you. The reason I think Philly will be in first is because they added Trey Turner. You're going to get a full season of Bryson Stott. You lost out on Reese Hoskins with the torn ACL, but you have Hall sitting there who really went on a stretch of home runs last year, especially after his call up. But you could you're going to platoon him with somebody. At third, you've got Alec Boehm. Behind the plate, you still have JT. Who's in the outfield? Yeah, you have
Castellanos, Schwarber, and Brandon Marsh.
with Bryce DHing.
Yeah, he can't. I don't think he can throw for the first couple months.
Okay, that's fair.
He also could be in the field. I have no idea.
Here's my.
I don't remember the timetable.
Here's my kind of puts him over the hump. They went out and spent money
They did.
on pitchers,
They picked up Taiwan Walker.
which I think he was a solid number 4 for that Mets team, and he went to a division rival.
I think he'll do better than Syndergaard did.
I agree, but I think this bullpen and this rotation is just going to be gross this year, and if you can get Bryce healthy all year long, I mean, we saw what he did when he was injured for the first half 2 years ago and came out and won MVP. So, and now you're going to have an electric leadoff hitter, especially after what happened in the WBC.
Yeah, you have to hope that carries back over.
I hope so. I just think this team's too dangerous not to win first place. It's going to be close.
Like the New York Mets, they like to also choke.
Right. But
I have confidence in the Braves.
I think that this team, it's going to be close between 1 and 2. It's not going to be less wide open. It's going to be like last year with them and the Mets.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to get blown out. The Braves are just going to run away. I think that all 3 of those teams are going to be within 5 games.
I agree.
Because they're all going to beat up on Washington and Miami.
Who wins the pennant?
San Diego.
Yes, I agree. Their team is the most put together on paper.
They just ran out of steam last year. Got some unlucky timing hits against them. It's unfortunate.
And now you're going to have a guy who's won a World Series in there with Xander.
So is Juan.
Right. So you're going to have 2 guys who've been there throughout the whole thing.
Blake's been there.
Yeah.
I mean, they have player. I think this is like I said last year. They got over the hump about beating the Dodgers.
Okay. Yeah,
They
I
were
agree.
2 games away from the World Series.
Yeah.
Right, because they lost 4-2, or was it 4-1?
I think 4-2.
It was 4. Yeah, it was 4-2. Because it's just not the point. I mean, they're 2 wins away from the World Series. Maybe it doesn't rain, and that's a clean game. They win that, bring it back to San. I don't know. I guess Game 7 would have been out in Philly, but they have at least a chance. They were close. I think this year they get over that hump. They added good pieces, and I think they are my pick to win a title. And that probably just cursed them because Toronto barely made it out of the first round last year. So, actually, they didn't. They lost the wild card to the Seattle.
I don't think this sounds as crazy as it's gonna sound, but my pick to win it all will be the Mariners. I do think so.
Didn't you say Houston was going to win the pennant? In part 1?
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought we were going on the other prediction. So, because we said we were going to do that in this episode, all right? So that's where my brain went. So then, where do we go from this part now, Ben? You direct me. You tell me where to go.
What? You said?
Because you were talking about the World Series, I thought.
Yeah, because we said
Oh,
we had completed the puzzle.
Oh, the pennant. Oh, yeah. I thought we were talking about just winning the whole division.
No, I meant who is winning the pennant.
Oh, okay. So scratch that from the last video. Scratch that. Yeah, scratch that. I thought we were talking about something completely different because I thought we were just going to do the World Series pick at the end of this. After the second part. I thought that's what you said.
Yeah, we are.
So.
We're doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm choosing the Mariners.
That's fine.
Because
it's going to be the Padres versus the Yankees, and San Diego wins 4-2.
I just think that the Mariners have they're going to figure it out, even though they're going to be a wild card team. I think they're going to get the first wild card spot. And I think they're going to hold on to it for the whole year. And I think that they have enough to beat Houston this year, especially when you're 1 through 4. I mean, if we look at last year, they should have won game 1. They should have won game 2. And George Kirby threw 7.5 or 7 2/3 scoreless or something like that against them in game 3. And it went 16 innings.
Yeah.
I think that the Mariners can beat the Yankees because they did last year. And every time the times they matched up, the Mariners won the series, I believe. And I think they can win it all.
That is your opinion. You are entitled to that opinion.
But I do think the Mariners are going to win the whole shebang, and Julio will win MVP. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment question of the day is, who will be the NL division leaders? And give us your World Series picks. Who's going to be in there? Who's going to win? Also, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you know when our videos go live. And you can be there to watch them, right at whenever Ben posts them. So, yeah. Also, if you're listening over on Spotify, go ahead and leave a review and hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up at the show. Hit us up at our personals. Come on, guys. We love sports. Talk to us about it. But, we'll tell you where to find us right now. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Kane. Dave, one more time, where are you at?
My Twitter is RealDayGaming1, and the show's Twitter is The Kane and Day Show.
Now you know where to find us. But anyway, guys, I'm Kane, and this is Day, and we'll talk to you guys next time.